Welcome back to Eat and Talk. I'm so excited today. We have an amazing guest, but first let me introduce myself again. My name is Yusra.
And I'm Gilbert, and we're back with another episode of Eat and Talk.
Yup, and today we got our guest,
Datrice Mulsumo.
Yes, and so Datrice, we have been anticipating this interview because he is a gem. He just speaks knowledge. We've got his Instagram pulled up here. He has his own YouTube channel. Please check it out. Give us the name again.
It's just follow me at Datrice Mulsumo, Datrice Mulsumo.
Yes, and he drops videos on Instagram, words of motivation, free advice, just a lot of things. So
a lot of stuff we can't wait to talk about.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to come and sit down with us. I'd love to just get started by an introduction. Tell us about you. Who are you?
Absolutely. So my name is Datrice Mulsumo. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm also a sales consultant. So I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and I teach them how to become a high-ticket closer.
Wow. Okay, so what is that?
Yeah,
what is a high-ticket closer? That sounds...
It's such a term
house
that
closing
people,
or something.
People aren't really used to the word high-ticket closing, but it's such a very unique industry because I started off in sales. Right, we've all here done some selling, whether it's on ourselves or selling somebody else's stuff, but. I was working at LA Fitness, and I was a sales rep there. Right, I wasn't a high ticket closer. I was a sales rep there. So I was selling things that weren't, high ticket. It was only, a couple $100, couple, $25, $30 a month. I was selling a gym membership. I left that job and I became a high ticket closer. So then I started selling high ticket products. So that's like $1,000 and up. So anything that you're selling that's worth $1,000 and up, that's considered high ticket.
Is a Rolex a high ticket?
Yeah, so that's a high ticket product right there, right? You go to those, you go into the Rolex store, they're gonna try to close you.
Okay.
They're gonna try to sell you.
Absolutely.
Right. So I work with these business owners and these influencers that everybody sees all the time on social media. They see their ads everywhere, but their ads are just targeted to be able to generate leads and potential customers to their business. But the problem is these business owners, they don't have the time to close their own deals because they're marketing, advertising, creating content. So what they look for is somebody who's ambitious, who can communicate and speak to people, and who's not afraid to ask for the sale. Because you're asking for somebody for $1,000 or more. A lot of people are scared to ask somebody for that.
Especially that's why I don't get into sales. That's why I don't do nothing that has to do with sales.
Especially if they don't have it in their bank account, they're really afraid to ask it. Like I've sold products for $23,000.
Yeah.
I've sold a product for $75,000.
Wow.
Right. So I'm asking somebody after giving them my presentation, like, yeah, it's $75,000.
So how do you get them to that point where they feel comfortable and build confidence to give you that type of stuff?
You really have to be able to connect with people and not come across salesy, but come from a perspective of helping people. Because a closer, our job isn't to convince people. I'm not in the business of convincing. I don't like to convince people.
Okay.
But I love to help people overcome an uncertainty, to take action, which a lot of humans lack. People want, but who's going to take that action to actually go after what they want? Oh, I want to start my e-commerce business. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do that. Well, you see an ad and you click on the ad to learn more. Now I'm going to make you do it.
Absolutely.
I'm the guy who's going to make you follow through with what your body is letting you do, right? Follow through with your mind. Everybody has goals and dreams and aspirations, but they're one step away, one action away, one purchase away from actually learning more so they can do more. Because otherwise, people are going to spend their money on other stuff, right? Yeah, it's a high ticket, it's $1,000 and up, but people spend $1,000 in a month going out. I've seen it with my own eyes, right?
So the question that came up in my head now is like with the whole COVID, you say you do presentations. So did COVID affect you from doing that presentation, or is everything?
Yeah, it affected me, but it affected me positively.
Okay, that's good.
Positively, and it's because the COVID forced everybody to be creative and go online.
That's true.
And when people are forced to be creative, more products are being created. Higher ticket products. How to run a business on Zoom. That's an offer, right? So people are creating more offers and they're creating more products and services. And then also people are sitting down at home on their phones scrolling.
Absolutely.
Looking to click on stuff and speak to people.
My screen time percentage went up during COVID. It tells me it increased 11%, 16%. I'm like, but that's because I'm always online shopping, trying to find ways to figure out my future. And I've been clicking on more ads that I've never clicked on.
Me too. I've been clicking on more ads.
Yeah.
Good thing you guys did speak to somebody like me.
I've been clicking on more ads.
Exactly. I noticed that, and I spent a lot more money. But at the same time, it's been very beneficial to me too.
It's good for people to click on those ads that you guys see because you never know what opportunities can help you get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
I clicked on an ad before to go do something, and I did it, but that thing that I went after wasn't the thing I'm doing now, but it was the catapult to get me to where I am. So sometimes people are afraid to get into things because they're like, oh, what if I don't like it? Or what if it's not for me? It doesn't matter. That is going to give you an experience that either can point you in the right direction for what you're supposed to be doing, or it is what you're supposed to be doing. So every loss is a lesson type of deal. You just want to take action. It's an action game, especially nowadays. It's hard for you to compete with people that are always taking action. Okay? So
Exactly.
and we're human beings now. We're getting creative online world, and people are taking action faster than ever. So we don't want to stand still.
Okay, so how do business owners reach out to you then?
Oh yeah, business owners reach out to me because they, especially when they see my content and I'm talking about sales and I'm talking about education, I build my influence online, and they understand that I work with a lot of closers and I work with a lot of salespeople, and I develop them a lot. I really nurture them. I train them all the time. But then because of my network outside of my training my students, I have a big network of different business owners and influencers that reach out to me and say, hey, I want 5 reps. I want 10 sales reps. I need you to build me a sales team. I need you to come train my sales team.
That's amazing.
So
wow.
that's another thing I do too as well.
So you train them, graduate them, and then send them off to the business owner.
So yeah, that was my big dream, was to give people opportunities. I'm not a super creative person, like a creator. I can't go create something and do stuff like that, but I can really work with people, right? I consider myself a leader. So when I'm around people, that's where I work my best at. So I love to work with the people who are creative. So the business owners do all the hard work, right? I just do the 1%. Which is close the deals.
I respect that, because I think that's where we all lack, is that reaching out for help. Once you're being creative or you're starting your own business, people don't like to ask for help.
That's very
true. They
true.
don't like to ask. They don't want to be working for a team, or they don't want to build a team. So that's kind of interesting that you kind of got used to that, and then now you're.
Yeah. So I want to know your background. How did Datrice get to this point?
Yeah.
Where were you before, and is this something that's always been on your mind?
Well, first I'll say it's always been on my mind because I'm African, so my mom's always saying I got a big mouth and this
now.
and
Right.
now I'm using that big mouth
We
to make
have
money.
that in common, yes.
But it all started, I was born in Liberia. I was born in Africa. I came here when I was 6 years old.
Okay.
And I came here really, really young. And even prior for me coming, my parents actually came to the U.S. before I did, my mom and my dad. So they left me Africa for about 3 to 4 years until they were able to bring me here. So when they brought me here, you guys had a guest here, Archie. We're actually cousins. Our moms are twins, right? They're identical twins. So when I first came to the U.S., I couldn't tell my mom from my aunt apart.
That's DJ Crew, by the way. That's his cousin.
I haven't seen my mom in 4 years, and I'm a kid, so I couldn't tell. But after a while, I got used to the culture, and I seen my mom struggle. That's one thing I after you don't see your parents for so long, and you come to the U.S. and you're thinking you have all these pre-notions of what the U.S. is. Came here and I seen my mom work 3 jobs, so I could barely even see my mom. So instantly I was hit with a shock, like, okay, this is not what's supposed to be happening. I want more. I didn't even know what more meant, but I knew as a young kid I always want more, and I was always a hard worker. I was always been super ambitious. I had that ambition just from seeing my parents do more and just work extra just to bring me here. My mom was working 3 jobs just to bring me here, so it's like, wow, I owe her a lot. That's kind of where my hard work came from. And then I a regular kid just like anybody else growing up, except that the fact that I was bullied really, really early just because of my English and just coming here. But people gravitated to me because I was able to influence people through my sports because I was really athletic. So people started gravitating to me, and I had to learn how to sell people at a young age, right? We all do as Africans because, we have to make them like us and trust us.
That's true.
So I had to be able to, gain friends and like people like me and try to fit in type of deal. And that's where I really learned how to sell and influence other people from. And sports took that to another level. I really got to learn how to influence myself. I played college sports. Then I went through a tough time in my life where I was lost like everybody else. I dropped out of college. And that's when it really hit me. After I dropped out of college, my parents didn't know.
They don't want to know.
Were you going to
know? No, actually,
were you going to college somewhere else?
My mom found out last week that I dropped out of college after all these years. Yeah, she
Wow.
never knew.
How did she know? Were you going to college somewhere else?
Yeah,
in a different
so
state?
I dropped out of college, and then like I just lived on campus without
This
going
man.
to school, just because I didn't want to tell my parents I dropped out. And while I was there at school, I was trying to find,
Ways
I
to
needed to find a
figure
way
out.
quick
Yeah.
so my story can add up. So I was looking for different schools and different opportunities, but I spent that whole semester, dropped out, and then I finally got an opportunity to go out to California, where I thought it was going to be like everybody thinks is going to be my savior.
Amazing.
Until I went out to California with only $500, no friends,
Came
no
back
family.
with 0.
I didn't even come back. I was actually lived out there. I was homeless out there for a while.
Wow.
So I was homeless out there for a while. And I look back at it now that I'm a little bit older, is that it was by choice that I actually went through all of that stuff that I went through. I could have said, hey, I'll book a ticket back, but I said, no, I got myself here to find something, so I'm going to find that thing. So I stuck out there. I slept on the beach for a few times, slept on benches. I remember one night I had like $30 left, and I was staying at a hostel. I don't know if you guys know what a hostel is.
Yeah.
I was staying at a hostel, and I had $30. It was $30 a night to stay there. So I had a decision. Do I pay that $30 to sleep, or do I eat? I still remember that day because I was crying. I was like, man, like, I'm too talented to be in this position. I'm too ambitious to be in this position. But at that time, God was making me, making me for who I am. But I made the decision to stay, and sleep that night and not eat. So that really hit me, and from that point on, I really took the narrative to say, this is not going to be my life forever. Like I can't do this. I have to step it up. And while I was homeless out there, I started networking, selling myself. I had no friends, no family, no relative, nobody out there. I just dropped off somewhere with $500. Especially California is the worst place to be with only $500. So I was lost. But I had to. I really learned how to communicate with people out there, though, because you have to sell yourself to total strangers. By the time I left California, I had everybody. All my friends, everybody knew me. Everybody was cool with me. I gained so many friends and opportunities while I was out there. But it was really a rags to riches story in about, I'll say, 9-month period while I was in LA. Lots of ups and downs. Lots of crying. I remember, calling my mom. I couldn't even ask my mom for money because my mom didn't have that much money, right? My mom's working, for herself, and she's trying to be stable herself. So I didn't want to ask her, so I just had to figure it out. So I got a job out there. I made some money. I just tried to find my way out there, and then I eventually went back to Minnesota, and I worked a job at LA Fitness. And at that point, I was already lost. I'm like, I'm not playing sports no more. So I don't know what my passion is. Worked the job for a while, and I was the #1 sales rep in the state there for 2 years. So I was crushing
Which
it.
Fitness did you work at?
In
Wow.
Broken Park. So I was crushing it there, selling gym memberships, just because, my characteristics of me in California carried to me in Minnesota. So it's like, this is all I have to do is to make some money. So I did it, and I was crushing it, and I met my girl, right, who's still my girl to this day.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to her, because she was really the catapult. When you have somebody or you're with somebody, you always have to step up, right? So she made me step up. Women will make you step up.
That's true.
Right, women will make you step up.
That's definitely true.
Say it one more time.
Yeah, women will make you step up. So I was living there, and I got to the point where, because I was living with her in her parents' basement. So it was not a good position. I'm African, so I got pride. I'm living in my girlfriend's parents' basement, and she has a daughter. So I'm like, yeah, this is embarrassing. I gotta change my situation. I gotta change my life. And that's where the power of manifestation started coming into play, because I started asking for more, and I started thinking of more. Like, I gotta do something. I want to Google how to make more money. I was that person, right? How to make money fast. I was typing that stuff in because I really wanted to make some money. I was only making $1,500 a month, and I was like, that's not cutting it with the whole family, right? I couldn't have no money for myself. Sometimes we had to ask my mom for gas money, ask her parents for gas money. I was like, yeah, this is not it. I'm 22 years old. This is not it. And then one day I went to my job, regular day. One of my people came in to buy a membership. It's an old friend. He was from high school. I was like, oh yeah, what's up, man? I sold him on a gym membership. I sold his sister on a gym membership. And then after a while, he's like, how much you get for this? I'm like, $25. And he laughed at me.
I would laugh too.
He's like, what? $25? That's all you get? He's like, dang, okay. He's like, yeah, bro, hit me up, after this. We'll talk some more. So I hit him up, and he's like, yeah, bro, I got a business. I'm gonna do social media marketing. I have an opportunity for you. If you want to make more money, I'll give you $500 per sale. I'm like, $500? I make $25 per commission. I'm like, oh, sign me up, right? I met with him. He told me a little bit about it. It was like a door-to-door thing, though. Even though I didn't like it, but I was like, $500. All I gotta do is sell 4 in 1 month, and I'm making more than I'm making on my job. So I'm a risky individual. Like, if it's something I want to do, I would leave what I'm doing and go do it right away.
Wow.
Like, I wouldn't think about it. I wouldn't consider it. I'm an internal frame, so I don't look for external things to be able to make my decision. I just make it, very, very internal. So I said, okay, yeah, I want to do it. So I was about to quit my job, and he's like, wait, things are changing. There's this guy named Boniface Agunti. He has a course, and he's helping people start their own e-commerce business. He needs a sales team, and he's like, you want to be part of the sales team? We start on Monday. And this is Thursday. And he's like, so you all in? Because we need you to be full time. And I'm like, man, he's gonna be full time. I'm full time already. And I was like, damn, my girl, she doesn't know what's going on. Or she's gonna be like, I'm gonna quit my job to do this thing. She's gonna be like, what do you like? She's like, what are you talking about? Like, this is our income, right? So, but I told her anyway, and that's where I love the influence part, because I'm a person that, like, my mom says it too. Like, if I want to do something, there's not much you could tell me to kind of stop me, right? I'll go through hell and back for what I want to do. So I told her anyway. I quit my job and I started working there. And working at my job, I did $24,000 a year. The first year I quit my job, I did $272,000 in that 1 year closing high ticket sales.
That is crazy. Elevation.
That money changed them.
That's elevation.
So, yeah,
wow.
I call it a paradigm shift, right?
Wow.
Because how I used to view the world and the opportunities changed from that year. Because I used to view the world like, oh yeah, one day I want to be a millionaire like everybody says, and I'm thinking maybe one day on 40, 50 years old I'll be a millionaire, and to see the fact that I did it in 2 years is crazy. So my whole paradigm changed, like the opportunities changed. What I thought was possible, it changed to be even bigger possibilities. So I see the world so much different now, and I'm not any different. I'm just more disciplined now. That's the biggest difference that I see from who I am now to who I was 2 years ago when I made that decision to change my job. Just the discipline.
Do you think a lot of people lack the discipline then?
Absolutely. People lack discipline. Also, people lack what they want. People don't know what they want.
So what advice do you give people when it comes to that?
My biggest advice for people who are trying to struggle with their purpose or trying to struggle with their goals and their dreams is proximity. You want to be around the things that you want, right? And if you don't know what you want yet, then the first thing you want to do is start looking, start seeking, right? Because seek you shall find, right? It says it everywhere. So seek you shall find. So now I start seeking. I started thinking in my mind like, okay, I know where I'm at. First, you have to identify where you're at and then where you want to go. Once you identify where you're at and where you want to go, the rest of the stuff in the middle is going to figure itself out. So the biggest thing is figuring out where you're at and then where you want to go. And that's the hardest part because people don't think about, man, where do I really want to go? Like, how fast do I want my life to change? What do I want out of life? And I remember sitting at my job, I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired.
We all.
Man, I was like, okay, I can keep doing the same things and nothing will change, or I got to do something different.
So you then started blowing up and you started sharing your stories. I seen articles about you. How did you start sharing your stories, and what was the first article that you got an interview with?
Yeah, so it was really caught me off surprise when people started wanting to know more about what I do and things like that.
But you asked for that though.
Yeah, at first I didn't. At first I didn't ask for it because I was like, I wasn't sure if it worked, right? Because I was like, it worked for me, right? I can work hard, but I don't know if someone else can work hard.
Right.
So at first I was really reluctant to even share what I did, and the first person I shared it with was a friend. He came back from playing overseas basketball, and he's like, man, I want an opportunity. I want to make some money. And I was like, nah.
So all we have to tell you is I want to make some money.
Yeah.
But you have to believe in the person. You don't want to waste your time and waste theirs, right?
And that person has to be serious because I was like, at first I didn't think people was willing to work as hard as I did. I was like, nah, people want to party, people want to have fun, especially they're young my age, they want to do everything. They want to chase girls and do all that. So at first I was like, nah, I don't want to train you because I'm going to be losing a lot to try to focus on you if you're not focused. But then he just kept bothering me like, bro, teach me, bro. I'm willing to learn. And then I said, all right, I gave it up and I started teaching him. And to see him excel so fast, it really like, okay, this stuff does work. Then it grew, and you know, I got to a team of like 40 people, and now I have a physical office too as well. And then after that, you know, people just wanted to kind of know about my story, like what I was doing, because we were winning, and you can't, you know, hide winning sometimes. So New York Weekly reached out to me, and I had a few other podcasts reached out to me, and more people just wanted to make more money. So they're just like, what's going on? I started educating people and teaching people. And I just started growing my brand, growing my social media. But it was just all natural for me, because at first I was just posting just to post. I just wanted to be relevant.
Just posting just to post.
Just to post, just to stay relevant. Because you want to stay relevant in this game. You don't want to be, you know, in the back of somebody's mind. Because especially, you know, when it comes to success, if you're trying to get around successful people, you don't want successful people to have you in the back of their mind. You want to be in the front of their mind. You want to be like, you want them to be scrolling like, oh, Datrice.
Yeah.
Oh, Datrice, every day you see my stuff, pretty soon I'm stuck in your mind. And if you don't see my stuff, it's going to trigger like, I didn't see this guy today.
Right.
Let me check on his page and see what's going on.
Wow. No, this is amazing. And your social media page honestly blew my mind. I mean, you make tweets, you make videos. Like, how do you make a video every day, or is it like a week thing?
Yeah. So the key to doing content that I figured out is, you know, work hard now and then, you know, stack up. So like I used to stack up like 30 pieces of content at a time, and then I'll create so much stuff, and people think I'm doing it every day.
That's what we do.
Like, I already did it.
That's smart.
That's why you did it.
I did 30 already. I put it up there, and now my next challenge is to do like 100 pieces of content, great content, and just stack it up. So then that way, like for the next couple months,
sit back and
go on vacation. I could work but still be relevant, because you don't want to stop posting. That's what you don't want to do.
Absolutely.
So in this area, like, who are people that you look up to?
Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Jordan Belfort, a lot of online entrepreneurs are just crushing at a super, super high level. Like, I really look up to, you know, guys like Bob Proctor, who really talks about paradigm shifts and mentalities. I'm really a stoic when it comes to the mind now. I'm starting to really love learning about human beings, how we think, how we act. Because when you start studying people, you really start figuring out like we're all the same.
That's very true.
Like you can anticipate people's behavior before they even do or say stuff, and that's where my sales experience, you know, really kicks in now. Because it's like, if I can, it's kind of like persuasion. It's weird. It's like a mind control. I can do mind control, or I can make somebody think like me. Because if I make somebody think like me, I can make them make a decision that I want them to make.
You think about that.
That's awesome. So, I want to know, because it seems like you're very big on knowledge. What are some books that have inspired you as well, or that you recommend for people to read?
My top two was Think and Grow Rich.
Okay. Oh, that's one of my favorite books.
Think and Grow Rich and The Straight Edge.
Nice.
Right. The Straight Edge just shows you about your day-to-day habits. That you know, whatever you're doing, whenever you're winning in life, is because your habits are you know, added up to that. When you're not doing well in life, it's because your habits led up to that. There's never one thing that, you know, people always think like, oh, I just need this one thing and boom, I'll be good. No, it's like the little things that you do over time, it leads you to that big thing that gets you up there. And if you do the wrong things long enough, you get the wrong results. So there's no thing as bad luck or good luck. The better you are, the, you know, more luck you will have. The worse you are, the less luck you will have. So it's just the little habits that over and over and over, because like my saying is like time plus consistency equals results.
Absolutely. So I'm still mind blown at the fact that, you know, you were homeless at a point and you went, and within a year or two your life changed. So I know there's a lot of youth that are going to be watching this that maybe are in that predicament. What kept you sane and what kept you motivated? What were some things you were manifesting, and like advice that you have to tell yourself to keep going and not give up? Because it's so easy for you to give up, especially when you're that young, out of college or dropping out. There's a lot of things going through your mind.
There were so many times I questioned my faith sometimes. Like I questioned a lot of things, and I had a lot of doubt. Like we're all humans, we all have that doubt. But what really kept me going were people. Like I got myself out of it. Like I'm not doing this for myself. Like I'm doing this for my family, my friends. I can't give up, because if I give up, you know, you never know who's watching your journey. That was one thing, right? I was like, you never know who's watching you. If it's up to me, it's about to be. Like I want to change my life. Like the biggest thing that motivated me was that I needed to become a better person. Like, I just need to become a better person. I looked at different people and I was like, man, these people look perfect. Like, they look like they don't have no problems. They don't look like they don't poop. Like, they look perfect. So I'm like, okay, I gotta, I want to be better. I want to be a better version of myself, because the person that I was 2-3 years ago would not be sitting here right now at all. His habits was messed up. His mentality was screwed up. I was hanging around negative friends. I was doing things I shouldn't be doing. So like when we all have bad habits, but when you change those bad habits out for good habits and better habits, your whole life changed, like within an instant. So I just want to be a better person. That's what really motivated me.
That's amazing.
I want to be somebody could look up to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll go back to the school topic. So I know there's going to be a lot of people that are watching this, and they'll probably want to decide, should I go the route that he goes to, or do I go the school route? But then for African parents, what advice can you actually give someone that has an African mom or African dad
I'd say,
comes to deciding what to do?
I want to say, if you want to go to be a doctor, a lawyer, some type of things like that, go to school. Other than that, don't go to school. I say focus on what you want and think really hard about what you want, and surround yourself with like-minded individuals. And wherever you end up is going to be where you want to be. Right? Because at the end of the day, when you're going to school, you're learning from people who don't have what you want. And when you're learning from a lot of people who don't have what you want, and you're constantly around people who don't have what you want, it's really hard for you to escape. It was really easy for me to find success because when I was out of school, I got to choose who I was around and who I was listening to. When inside of school, you don't. You're listening to a professor who's having a bad day. Listen to a professor who wants to change his life. Who doesn't have all the answers. Who's Googling, things to teach you. So it's like, okay, I needed to start listening to people who actually have what I want, and I've been where I've been. That's how you shortcut your success. Because my mentors in my life told me what not to do and what to do. So it's like so easy. That's why success is the easiest thing in the world.
Absolutely.
Money is so easy to make.
Absolutely.
Right? Just listen to people who have money, who can make money. Show you what to do. It's like a plug and play.
Wow, that's awesome.
So even thinking about that, do you volunteer outside of what you do, like talk to students, high school students, because I think that's where they struggle.
He gives free advice on YouTube and social media too.
That's the goal I'm actually trying to move into, is doing more speaking. So I was invited to do a couple of speaking stuff, so I'm gonna be doing that here in the next couple of years, but with coronavirus and stuff like that. I've been doing a lot of online speaking now, because these business owners are like, hey man, come speak in my group to my sales team. Come motivate, come inspire them. So I go in there, I help them out, educate them, I motivate them, I inspire them. And a lot of the times, the things that I'm telling them, it's like the little things that they need to do. That's like true. The littlest things. And sometimes it flies over people's head. Like the smallest things always fly over people's head. But I love speaking to people, and I'm looking forward to actually start speaking to some kids, starting my speaking career, actually going back to my high school and doing things like that. That's something I'm actually excited for.
That's awesome. Man, we could talk to you forever. There's still so many things I want to go through, but I want to end it with, I want to know what you got going on in the future. What you kind of mentioned it, you want to work with the youth, but what are some goals here in the next 1 to 5 years that you want to see yourself for?
Man, for the next, in the 1 to 5 years, my goal has always been I came, I saw, I conquered. So I want to really keep...
Say that again.
I came, I saw, I conquered.
Period, yes.
So, the fact that I came from Africa to come here, and I want to conquer, I want to learn, I want to develop, I want to make a lot of money, I want to help a lot of people. In the next 5 years, I want to use everything that I have to be able to spread that around the whole world, and not just in America. Because, America is just a little part of the world, and I want to just start expanding, traveling. I want to go to Africa. I want to develop a lot of things in Africa. I want to develop opportunities for people. That's the biggest thing. I feel like my life purpose is to give opportunities to inspire and motivate people.
That's awesome. It's not easy, like being African and being like a first immigrant country, like coming from an immigrant country. Your parents are working hard, and so we feel the pressure to make something of ourselves. And also, our parents expect us to be like, we didn't come here for no reason. I get that every day. Well, I didn't come here for no reason. You better work us. So that's amazing, and it's very inspiring. Definitely, we would love to have you back, because you have so many great things going on for you.
That one thing you said about like African parents, like how they do us, it was like that. That's so good to do that, because I can see myself saying that to my kids. Like, all the hard work that I did, you ain't doing this for nothing.
Exactly.
Right? A lot of other cultures don't have that.
They don't have that. They don't need to.
Like they're just go do whatever you want, Johnny.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
No offense to the Johnnies out there, but it's like go do whatever you can be, do whatever you want. It's like you can't be whatever you want. You can be who you want. You have to identify what you want, and then you can be that person, but you can't be whatever.
Exactly.
So like they really put a lot of pressures on us to be great, which is a wonderful thing, because I see me, telling my kids not like you can do whatever you want. I want to tell my kids like, who do you want to help? That's gonna be the question. Like, what problems do you want to solve? Like, what do you want to do? Like, I'm gonna be hard on them. Like, what problems do you want to solve? Like, that's the biggest thing I'm gonna establish.
And what I love that you said, and I feel like a lot of us Africans that come to America, we forget that, yes, we're American, but we still have a continent. And so the fact that you said that your ultimate goal is to go back and spread your knowledge and wealth and whatever you can help in Africa, that's amazing, because I've met so many Africans that are like, I'm not planning to go back. Like, I don't really care, So I think it's important, because America is just one little small piece of this world, like very small, and you can't just like seclude yourself here. So that's amazing. I love that. That's probably touched me the most. I took away a lot about this.
It's the same thing. I'll touch back on what you said too. I think I enjoy the fact that you have Africa in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
You have that in the back of your mind, which that's powerful.
That is very powerful. So
5 years from now, we'll probably talk to him again.
Well, I'm going to talk to him before that. I want to keep in touch, but we're definitely going to link his YouTube, his Instagram, and everything. We are probably going to make sure that we keep in touch with your speaking events. Absolutely. We're very excited. We're so grateful that you came here today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming, and we will definitely talk to you guys soon. So
absolutely, I appreciate
it. Thank you.